So I want to introduce to you who we're going to be seeing next. And I see Chris is front and center. Okay, CoachBot AI provides enterprise coaching infrastructure for coaching providers and leadership development firms, okay, to scale their methodologies across organizations. They're research-backed, coach-designed, and ICF-recognized platform enables secure AI coaching and learning agents that deliver continuous human-centered development across programs and workflows while preserving trust, ethical standards, and coaching integrity at the enterprise scale globally. I have on the phone right now these great people. We've got Lewin, we've got Nadina, and we've got Chris. Please take out the QR code. I'm going to stop sharing in a moment. Let's stop share. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, as you're saying. Let's have some fun here, huh?
Let's have some fun. Lewin, good to see you. Nadina, good to see you. What I'm going to do is exit stage left. You'll see me back in about 28 minutes, give or take, and have some fun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ro. And hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. We're CoachBot AI, and we help you bring AI into your coaching without risking client trust. So CoachBot turns your methodology into scalable coaching experiences while preserving quality, ethics, and control. It's so good to be back with everyone here at the coaching.com community. I was on a webinar or a session with Jonathan Wright last year in June during the coaching.com summit. This was the first time I was speaking in front of thousands of coaches. I think I was as excited as this time, but last time I did the call from my car and was hoping the internet won't break. This time it failed me. Yeah, so I'm on my hotspot setup. I have a lot of sympathy for what Deep just went through here with Sherlock AI and the demo. We're probably going to see more tech issues. Thanks everyone for your understanding. This is kind of live stuff that we're doing. We're all dependent on the internet, but yeah, let's have some fun. Let's enjoy this wonderful session, and big shout out to Ro and the entire coaching.com team for organizing this session and helping to bring some transparency into this wild, wild west of AI coaching. So before we go into the solution, I want to share you a little bit about who am I, what is the mission, and why is CoachBot part of that stack. Yeah. So my name is Lewin Keller. I'm a certified coach. I live here in southern Germany. I was with my beautiful team here in the Black Forest for the last couple of days. Now Nadina's back in Spain. Chris is close to Hamburg. I live here with my wife and my 3 beautiful kids. It's sun shining outside. I was on a bike ride this morning and now super pumped about this presentation. My background is in technology. So I've been going through everything from consulting to a small startup to a planet scale company. It was actually in Google in 2015 where I first got acquainted with AI technology, because Google was really early in bringing AI to the market and complex TensorFlow models, and you really needed to have a PhD in AI in order to make an impact. It was also in Google where I got the first time acquainted with coaching. And I was amazed by this technology. Coaching to me is a technology. I was really sucking up every coaching seminar, every free hours that I could get on a limited budget, because yeah, I was just a graduate. But in Google, we had amazing opportunities. And then it was later in a hypergrowth scale-up company where I was a director that I could coach my account executives to sales managers, coach my sales managers into whatever's next in their career. And this is where I decided to train as an ICF coach, because I was so impressed with my own personal transformation. And yeah, I wanted to share that love with others. But when I was in the coach training, I was like, whoa, 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 stop. I've seen products scale to billions of users and the impact that it can have. But this is not true for coaching. Coaching is very scarce. And all the coaches I met, from my MCC coach trainer to my peers, everyone was at the edge of burnout. And I was like, wait, this is amazing what we're doing, but why do we have to suffer for this? And this is where my mission came about, to combine my background in technology and AI with my big passion for coaching. And this access gap is actually fueling the mission of CoachBot AI. So it was during my coach training where I met Nadina, and Nadina is today a PCC. She also has a marketing background. So who's better to tell you a little bit more about CoachBot than her? But before we go into that, I just want to tell you that we've started really off last year. We're working with 50 leading coaching providers around the globe. You can see some of the logos over here. We've built over 250 different coach bots. Yeah, so if it was not really clear in the beginning, we are not an AI coach that we market. We are the infrastructure that some of the leading coaching providers out there are building their own AI coaches on. And we had many conversations, everything from B2C all the way up to enterprise, Fortune 500. In Germany, we say the DAX stock market, stock index level. And we're very proud that also leading AI and coaching researchers today do their research on the CoachBot infrastructure. Without further ado, I'm handing over to the wonderful Nadina.
So hello from me. As Lewin mentioned, I am an ICF PCC certified coach, and I own my own coaching business, focusing on regenerative leadership. I joined the mission with CoachBot as a CMO, parenthesis, also internal coach occasionally. You know how these things go. And because my purpose is to leave this world a little bit better than what I found it. I know it's romantic, but the way for me to do that is one personal growth conversation at a time. But this is exactly the challenge that we coaches have. How can we do it one conversation at a time? And can AI help us expand this? So some of the questions that I had as a coach is, how can we stay ahead of competition by integrating AI into our coaching and doing it in a way that protects our IP and expands our frameworks? Because let's be real here. Myself, and I'm sure most of you, didn't get into coaching to learn how to fully code and to learn all this backend and prompting and everything that's in the backend that needs to be learned. We joined for the transformations of our clients. And unfortunately, the current delivery model is very coach-led and time-intensive. So the simple math that most coaching providers operate with is, if I need more clients, I have to hire more coaches. So how do we win in this very competitive landscape? The second thing that I kept asking myself as a coach is, how do we deliver quality at scale, which is quite difficult. So yes, we can manage consistency across coaches when we have 3 coaches in our companies and maybe 3 leadership teams and maybe 3 organizations that we're working with. But what happens when we have 20 coaches and 20 organizations, and we need to scale beyond that C-suite? How do we ensure shared frameworks or session standards? And quality, how can we focus on quality when we are in the back end overload? The manual coordination with clients, with scheduling, with follow-ups, with progress tracking, and most of the times, unfortunately, all of it is either in spreadsheets or sits somewhere in a program. I know, because it was the pain of my existence. I was like, I just want to coach and continue my internal development and keep serving my clients better. And the last pain that we kept hearing over and over is ROI and how much it's such a struggle to prove. So how do we currently measure and evaluate, and how do we currently quantify coaching impact when we mostly have testimonials and participant satisfaction? Unfortunately, it's not always clear business trackable outcomes. So how do we prove impact in order to be able to renew and to expand? And enter CoachBot AI. So we built this product with a lot of research and love, alongside with coaches, with providers, with organizations, with experts, with behavioralists, and the list goes on, to address 3 key points. The first one, how to win clients. So how to attract clients and win over competition. And that means keeping that competitive edge and differentiating your service and what you deliver and the way that you deliver it, and how you are able to stay ahead of the market by integrating AI authentically, and ethical AI and responsible AI into your practice. The second one is renew and expand. How do you prove ROI to your client that is not only qualitative, but it's also quantitative? How do you deliver to scale to full organizations and go beyond these just leadership, CMO, CTO, CEO, whatever it is that you are coaching? And with this, that will help you secure more long-term contracts. And the last one is quality. How can we deliver quality at scale? So we support you at CoachBot AI to augment your methodology and programs, all while protecting your IP and allowing you the time to develop your coaching skills and your team coaching skills in the back end, ensuring consistency across your organization. So now your team focuses on delivery, quality delivery, and not just back end admin. So I'm going to take a breath here because I'm sure by now you're wondering, this is all great. This is what I face. I feel you. Yes, that's me. So if you're wondering how it all comes together, I will hand over to Lewin, who will take you through the use cases of how this can look in your day to day. So Lewin, back to you.
Thank you, Nadina. Okay, after those a little more marketing heavy slides, we now want to make it very practical for you. So we're going to have the use cases, and then we're jumping right into the technology so you can see how our studio platform works for you at scale. First of all, I need to set something clear. We're not here to replace human coaches because human coaches cannot be replaced by AI. It's not possible because what human coaches offer, AI cannot offer. So let's get this clear from the beginning. We are here to offer hybrid programs. That means we have human-led programs where the human delivers and the AI maybe does some session analysis or some reflection, some assessments. And then we also build AI-led tools. What does that mean? When coaching is AI-led, it means that we have to build a very sophisticated design of our AI to make sure it's good enough to actually coach. Because there can be a lot of harm, yeah? Is it mentoring? Is it doing therapy? Does it have guardrails? Is it overreaching? Is the person maybe getting addicted? Is it a minor that is using it? So there are so many questions, and we need to make sure that whatever we're doing with AI is designed thoroughly. And CoachBot makes this really easy for you. Let's have a look at the use cases. When we think 3 years back, everyone was doing human-led coaching. There was we were all like, oh, we're doing our virtual coaching, in terms of like the Zoom calls. Yeah, this was new. But today, a lot of us are having AI tools that complement their coaching, like session analysis or, diagnostics, coach supervision, assessments, for example. Now, if we go a little more on the AI-led side, this is the stuff that can be created with CoachBot, kind of prototype in just minutes. If you want to build an organization-ready tool that can serve an entire enterprise organization, you probably need a few weeks to deploy it because you really want to hammer out the methodology, know how it serves your audience, create the evaluation so you can measure the impact on the right audience, and then you want to make it kind of enterprise-ready to deploy so you actually have adoption. So this is not done in minutes. But what is the stuff that you can actually create? For example, an onboarding tool helping you to onboard clients at scale. Maybe a tool that already brainstorms about some of their goals that they're having before they come into the first session. Or we're having a CoachBot that tracks progress. There could also be, an in-between session coach that prevents them from going to any LLM and get help from there during the 2 or 4 weeks that you're not there. And this AI coach is trained on your methodology, is working with your style, with your guardrails and ethics, so you can be assured it's safe. And your clients can feel the same safety. And you have visibility according to the privacy settings that have been defined. So with that, there is a bunch of different tools that you can create with CoachBot. We're going to jump now into a demo of an AI-led tool. We're going to give you some context and explain you how it's done. We're also going to show you how easy it is to create AI coaches with our platform. I'm going to bring the beautiful Chris Prahl with me on this journey. He's our tech guy. This is how he calls himself oftentimes when he introduces himself. I know Chris for about 7 years. I met him while I was working in Google. He's one of the most brilliant technical minds that can also articulate complex technologies very well. So yeah, welcome Chris to the stage.
Thank you. Let's focus on the product, not me. Nadina, I need you to stop sharing for a second. I can't share, do another sharing on top. Could you stop your presentation? Perfect. Now let's make sure
And for everyone who's waiting here, please put your comments into the comment section now or wait for it later. We have about another 5 to 7 minutes of platform demo that we're showing to you. And then we have 10 minutes of Q&A. So we really want to get into the conversation with everyone here in the community to learn about your challenges, your fears, but also your hopes and what you're really excited about.
And we have some great questions coming in, which we will try to answer as much as we can live.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, you're now in the CoachBot Studio. This is not for your coaches. This is for you, dear coaching providers. You will get access to this with your team, so everyone can spin from a kind of idea to prototype within minutes. And then I said within weeks, you can deploy that to entire organizations, 10,000s of users if you want to. We're not going to show you the in-depth kind of prompting today where you can define every little detail. We're going to show you the quick and dirty prototype AI wizard. So Chris, can you launch the wizard here for us, please? You can give your CoachBot a name. Let's say we're creating a follow-up coach that should support our clients in between sessions because we don't want them to look for help, maybe with GPT or something else. Then we're going to go and say, this is for continuity. So we have a lot of templates here that you can select from. If you can go further from here, Chris, and just see what's coming up next. Who is this CoachBot for? This is very important, everyone. Please think of your audience, yeah? Let's say our audience are mid-career professionals and they're in a transition phase and we're coaching them, through this transformation, but they need support even when we as a coach are not here. I would like to create something ICF aligned. And Chris, if you scroll down a little bit, give it a bit of a solution focus, please. Yeah, wonderful. And then how should your CoachBot sound? This is where you can go into your creative mode. Describe the warm, the empathetic, the directive, whatever the style of your CoachBot should be. Chris, give you the warm and empathetic tone, please. Wonderful. And you see, everyone can navigate this. Let's give the CoachBot a few capabilities. What does this coach can do really well? Let's give it reflective questioning and maybe give it Socratic as well. And then a bit of goal setting and accountability, because this is what my mid-career professionals in transition need. I can then double check what are my edits here, my input, make some changes, and then I can click on generate CoachBot. And then the wizard is starting to spin up all the details we're going to show you now. It's happening pretty quickly, but because we don't have time, we're going to go into the value aligner for a moment. The value aligner is an AI-led coaching tool for managers that are new in an enterprise organization and that have a hard time aligning their values in maybe a dilemma situation. And Chris is now showing you a little bit, how does CoachBot structure coaching conversations and why is it so special? Chris, handing over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So when we hear about AI and AI tools and all these kind of things, right, there's really two categories that the market typically thinks about right now. One of them is just chat, send a message, get a message back, ping pong, no real direction, no real guardrail, it's just a flywheel of engagement, right? Just keep the user going, go wherever the user wants to go. And then there's this kind of workflow, do this, then evaluate this, and then do this, but it's not really for people, it's not really for humans, right? So what we do, we design conversation flow. Conversation flow means there is a direction, there's objectives, and there's an end to this, right? And in this conversation flow, we use the creativity, if I dare say creativity in the context of AI, but we use the creativity of the LLMs to have meaningful conversations, yet get somewhere. And this is what we also visualize through a graph. And you see that graph right here. Each of the boxes is a stage of the conversation, right? And I hope for most of you, this maps really nicely to the way that you're coaching as well, the way you're thinking about coaching, that conversations have stages and phases. And a stage, this happens to be the first stage in this graph, so it's the start stage. A new CoachBot coaching conversation starts exactly on this stage. And there's a prompt, there's a clear task for what the AI, the CoachBot, should do at this stage. And it gets this together with, you see this nice line here, with a transition it can make. So now we have an AI system that gets a task and that gets a transition it can walk if it meets the requirements, or if the conversation it's in meets the requirements. Now, the AI will have a conversation, will have a meaningful conversation. You have lots of additional tools and prompting abilities to make this as colorful and as detailed and as personal as you want it to be. But fundamentally, what this is really about, it gives you a clear direction for the conversation. And then when the conversation has developed far enough, that transition is made and we're reaching a new stage. And a new stage means we have a new task and we have new transitions that can now be walked. And this combination of stages and transitions with their tasks and their requirements, again, allows us to combine the creativity that an LLM brings to have a meaningful, interesting conversation with a rigid framework that actually gets us somewhere as a targeted, controlled conversation. This is the first part of the CoachBot system that I want to show you today. The second part that I want to show you is how do we make sure that this stuff actually works? How do we get the good feeling that this is ready to show to customers or even to show to friends and family, right? And this is where evaluations come into play. And evaluations, that comparison is not perfect, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. It is close to an AI version of supervision. So when an AI conversation with a human closes, we take that entire conversation and we give it to another AI, another LLM, together with an assignment. And here, this is basically the assignment. So there's an evaluation for commitment specificity. So the whole conversation with a task to evaluate commitment specificity for that conversation is given to another LLM, and it formulates a result. It will do this with a clear yes, no, or with a sliding scale from 1 to 10 kind of result. So for commitment specificity, it can be 1 to 10, like depending on how specific the commitment was, there is a numbered score at the end. And now when we run multiple of these coaching conversations, we get more and more metrics and quantitative output for how good coaching conversations are actually working. Because if there's one thing that we all learned about AI at this point, it's really hard to predict what it's going to do next time. It might go well 8 out of 10 times. It might go well 2 out of 10 times. But if you happen to be in the good ones, you don't really know, if you're just testing manually once, what others are going to see. And with this, you can run many more tests. You can qualitatively then analyze the quality and the results of your CoachBots and give you much better feedback for going to production, for going the next step. And once you have deployed this code to customers and you are live, we use the exact same system to give you feedback on your coaching quality at scale and the ROI that you can offer to your customers. Lewin, from here, I'm going to give it back to you. Want to keep this high level. Where should we go next?
So now I want to can you quickly look in the follow-up AI coach that we've created and see where it is? Yeah, you see now the wizard has completed and it has created us the basic structure of how the conversation could go depending on our input. Chris, can you quickly go into the evaluations that it also created for us? You see, it's all there. So I would say 80% of the work is done, yeah, but it's an 80-20. Let's be real. The optimization at the end takes some time. This is why I said you cannot create something that's enterprise ready within minutes. You can get to this within minutes, but if you want to then, really test it, run your evals, do some optimizations, this will take a little bit more time. You can create here as many CoachBots as you want. You can create as many organizations as you want. That means the data between your enterprise clients is sharded. Yeah, not one coach is not seeing anything else. We have a bunch of other opportunity here for you. Choose your LLM, bring your own API key. There's so much stuff. We don't want to bother you with all of that now, but we would love to show you in a demo if this looks interesting for you or for the company that you're working for. With that, Chris, I think we can stop the demo. Super. And Nadina, if you bring back the slides, because I have a little present for the coaching.com community here as well. So for us, it was very important that we leave time for Q&A, and I already started to skim through all the amazing questions. Thank you, everyone. But before that, if you visit CoachBot AI, you can see our team. We have a beautiful, let's say, group of coaching advisors. This is our so-called responsible AI quality coaching advisory group, council we call it, sorry, my words. There is a lot of very trusted folks in the industry like Rebecca Rutschmann, Jonathan Wright, and many others that help us oversee what we're building here is actually responsible and does elevate client trust and not kill it. And check out our team, check out our website, our use cases. Feel free to use make use of the contact us form. We are happy to schedule a demo, discuss how you can bring your unique methodology or your ideas for tools or your clients' ideas for tools into actual CoachBots. And the special promotion, you can see it here at the very bottom, is a discount code that's only available here in March. We are pre-global launch. We're going to do our global launch in April. We're very excited. We just launched a new website an hour ago. Thank you, Chris, for pushing this live just now. This is the startup vibe that we're in here. So if you put pre-launch promotion into the discount field of our checkout, you will receive 30% off. That's absolutely massive. We've never given this before. This is really just for the coaching.com community because we want to serve you as much as we can. We love really how Ro and the team are putting this together. And I think we're now off to your questions.
Awesome. And I'm going to ask if I can share, please, because I do want to share your last names because that was a question. I want to make sure everyone sees my slide. So please stop sharing for a moment. My friends, I don't know who's sharing. And then I'm just going to quickly share this screen as we do questions. Can everyone see last names? Okay, well, we definitely have a good 5 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is I need to get back to the questions. I know one of the questions has to do with languages. Could you mention, and well done, everybody. I want to acknowledge well done. I know it's very hard transitioning and you folks are very passionate. So tell me a little bit about the languages that you're supporting today.
Awesome. So first of all, we have a web app that you can send to your clients. You can invite them via their email address or you can send out a link or you integrate this into your website, into your application through API. The LLM that you choose, might it be a Claude, a Gemini, or something totally different, a Mistral. It depends a little bit how good they can do the languages, but I think last time I checked, OpenAI was pretty good in over 196 languages. So the AI coach that you're building can do most of the languages. There are some regional exclusions to that. The interface, if you use our web app, this is always something we can discuss. We can pretty easy do auto translate in the language that you need for your clients. So I would say we're very flexible on language.
Great. Someone did ask to put the slide up with the QR code. So now that I've shared your last names, let's go back to the QR code, please, that you just had up with your offer. Perfect. Look at that. We are flowing here now, folks. Okay. I want to be very mindful that it's clear who you're serving. So there's been some questions, okay, about who you're serving. You mentioned indie coach. So let's continue. Who is your ICP, your ideal client profile for this?
So our ideal client profile is, and you saw that a little earlier, coaching providers. This can be leadership development firms, coaching boutiques, this can be coaching academies, but it's most times businesses of at least, something like 3 to 5 coaches as a minimum. Because what we're doing is really, we're offering you the white glove service. We're offering you, in our opinion, the best platform that's out there to build coaching specific tools. So with that, there was also a question around pricing, starting around 500 euros. I think that's about $580 or something a month. So, this is not maybe something that every indie coach wants to invest. However, we do have indie coaches who are really serious about their AI game, and they're part of this journey.
Okay. Have you used agentic AI to build this?
Chris, that's for you. Agentic AI, have we used that?
Very much. Yeah. So there's different AI systems that play at different stages of the conversation, and also especially in the post-processing. I mentioned the eval system a little bit, but there are other pieces to this as well. So yeah, very much agentic from the very beginning. Yeah.
And by the way, I have to do a shout out. Don was the first one here already doing our checkout with the promo code. Congrats. You're the first of hopefully many to join. Thank you. That's great.
Awesome. I love that. Real-time data here, everybody. We're operating across the world. All right. You mentioned supervision at one point. And of course, EMCC has a definition of that. So can you double click on that word? We have about 2 minutes left. And then, of course, Nadina, if there's another question you see in the QA that you'd like to answer, I want to turn it over to anyone who wants to take a browse at the questions. Go ahead, Lewin.
That's a beautiful one. So you can build those coach tools, as I said, for anything that is client facing, but some of our coaches are also building tools for themselves, for their own teams. For example, Rebecca Rutschmann built an amazing AI coach supervisor. It's an alpaca. She's also touring this around the world together with a research project with Professor Dr. Nikki Terblanche. And you can get access to this for free, and you can use this as your coach to help you with your own coach supervision. So this is kind of the definition of what is behind a supervision CoachBot that everyone can now build for themselves or for others.
Amazing. Any other questions? Let's see, we've got a good minute and 10 seconds.
Great.
Shall we continue? Go for it.
With a question that I think is very relevant from Michael. And he's asking, I have developed my own coaching framework. Can I train CoachBot on my methodology?
100%. We are actually, you can bring anything you want. We can build anything into prompts. Yeah, these are just these long text documents. Someone asked, what is JSON? This is the format that we're putting this into. So any methodology is welcome. With that, there are no exclusions. If you're coming from AC, ICF, Coactive, EMCC, if you've built your own grow model, like whatever, it's all welcome.
Great.
Do I have time for one more?
Go for it. Yeah, we got another 30 seconds. We're doing great here. We got
Nadina.
Rebecca on deck.
Yeah.
We're doing
fine.
I saw a lot of questions around IP and around data protection, and I think this is so important. We have not incorporated the company in the US for a reason. We've chosen, the gold standard of global privacy, which is Germany. So we have here GDPR, that's our data protection framework. We have the EU AI Act that we've kind of designed the tool from the very get-go. It doesn't get any more protected. On top, Chris is going beyond these frameworks. So we're not training an AI model on your data. The prompting stays yours. No one else is going to see it. With that, we can really make sure your IP is protected and also the client data is not used to train any AI on. I'm super passionate about this part because it's always so difficult for us to see who is getting this data, who's using it. In CoachBot, you can be sure no third party is going to access this data, and we're not training any AI models on it. And then the last point is we're never going to compete with you. Yeah, this is very important. We are not here to hire human coaches and, sell coaching. We're really here to augment your existing coaching programs with AI. Thank you.
What a beautiful way to drop the mic. I love the passion of your organization. You folks are great. Well done.